Thanks, Teresa. I think this is a really good question, maybe as a wrap-up question.
Okay.
When power, control, and dominance are apparent values of a leader, so not of ourselves, but of someone in a leadership position, how
Mhm.
can you leverage emotional intelligence to excel in this environment?
One, I think, is figuring out, is this the environment I want to excel in? Really asking ourselves that question. Can I excel in this environment? Knowing what I need, is this the right place for me to excel in? Because we have to go into these types of environments that we know are going to be challenging with eyes wide open and having made the choice. This is what I like to call a life by design. I pick. I am not at the mercy of other people's choices. If I do that and play victim or helpless, then what they serve me is what I'm going to have to tolerate and deal with in ways that are victimless, victim filled, and helpless. So, one of the things that I encourage is, if you are observing these behaviors that are leading you to perhaps, it could be a knowing, maybe you've already asked them, like, what are your values? And they say power, dominance, authority. They say these things, and you're like, okay, what does that mean for you? Why are these your values? What does it look for you at work? So the emotional intelligence skill set of interpersonal relationship is building relationships that are characterized by trust and compassion. Compassion is a big deal. If you want to show up authentically in your values and have people accept and respect them, then we have to give the same for others. So I might not agree with someone's value system. In fact, one of their values, when it shows up, might be in conflict with one of mine. A power value in its negative demonstration might show up as being disrespectful or unkind. And what if one of my core values is kindness? And now we're in conflict. Well, because we took the time to get to know each other really well, we can see it. Perhaps we can help the person in private acknowledge it by bringing it to their attention, have a discussion with them. Now, I get it. I mean, I was in a corporate career with the same company for 22 years. And, I think in my early years of leadership, if someone would have told me that, I'm like, I can't talk to someone who's a CEO like that. That's what it feels like. But the reality is you can, because it turns out they're human beings too. And when they have another human being approach them with compassion and trust, with the desire to get to know them and understand them and support them as much as they potentially want to support you, giving the most generous assumption of their character, they will reciprocate. They will appreciate and reciprocate. When we try, the road can fork, in which they open up and they accept and they start to shift their behavior and you strengthen that relationship, or they stay in their armor. Their non-authenticity. They stay in their armor and they behave poorly towards you. You make the call. Do you want to stay in that environment? You tried. If they're not willing to come along in the most generous way possible, do you want to stay there or not?